Hello, hello. This is Marche Denise Fulham, the author of Confessions of Church Girls, proud mother of Jada, Louise, and Enzel Marche. How y'all doing? I have been putting this off, and I have to apologize. First to myself and God, and then to each of you, because I have had a lot of people come up to me and ask me, ooh, when are you going to do your podcast again? Or you need to do a podcast. And inwardly, I kept putting it off. First thing I said was, I need an intro. The second thing I said was, I needed microphones, because then I started, when people were like, you need to do a podcast, and I had been doing it just on my phone or what I had, I started comparing myself to other people. And I started noticing that people had these microphones and these cameras and they had this intro. So I started making excuses on why I wasn't doing what I was originally doing before. And so tonight, as I was sitting here and life has happened, and it felt like every time I was going to do it, or every time I said I was going to start a video, one more thing happened or another day passed by. So I was sitting here tonight, almost about to get ready to go to bed, and I thought about the word regroup, right? And how it's time for Marche Denise Fulham, the author of the Confessions of Church Girls, proud mother of Jada Louise and Enzel Fulham, to regroup and to get started and to stop making excuses. Because honestly, all of this started from where I was. And I just want to talk to people, mainly to myself first. If we're not careful, we can be our biggest hindrance. And I thought about, I've always authentically been myself, right? I haven't always been the one that, wore the fancy name brands, or, maybe lived in the best things or had everything. But what I'm grateful for is I've made the best of what I've had. And I've had my own story to tell. And I'm really grateful to God for where he has brought me from. I thank God for how good he is. And I thank God for my journey. And I honestly can say that I am not a perfect being. I have not dotted every I, across every T, especially even as early as 2023. I'm human. I have my own wants and desires, and I am daily working out my life and my salvation. And so the reason I wanted to call this the regroup is that we have to be gracious to ourselves. And if we're not careful, we'll be the very thing that is paralyzing the growth in our life. And we will sit and not be productive. And we don't realize that there's things within us that's not only benefiting ourselves, but it's benefiting other people. So in saying that, I forced myself to, I literally had on pajamas, to put my clothes back on, to put these glasses on, to throw on some earrings, to turn on what I have. And although I didn't have the fancy microphones that I wanted, and I don't have the fancy lights, and I'm not in a studio, I made up my mind that I'm going to get on here and do what I've been doing, and do it like God's given it for me to give out and to pour out. So regroup, right? And I just want to encourage others out there, right? Work with what you got, right? You will be amazed with what you can do with what you got, right? And I am a living witness, right? I've seen God work in some amazing ways. I've seen where when people have counted me out, when people haven't always done me the right way, it has all still worked out for my good. And in the regroup, when you pick yourself up, when you still put one foot in front of each other, even now, um, it feels like 2024 has been one of the hardest years, but I'm still grateful. It started off with my pastor, who's been my pastor since I was 10 years old, passing away. And then about a week ago, someone who I consider a brother to me, I've known him since 19 or so, passed away last week, Friday, and that was very hard. His wife is one of my best friends, and I consider her my sister. And for a minute there, it took the wind out of me, and I had to pause and ask God, man, it just feels like, God, it's one thing after another. And that's probably why Regroup came in my heart, because on top of that, I just felt like it's just been one kind of disappointment. But then I had to remind myself that is what life is about. And although it's hard, right? And although it's not something that I'm necessarily happy about, we all are going to have a day that we will no longer be here, right? And so that's even more reason why it's important for us to regroup. So I say this to you because there is also going to be a time, there's a time where we smile. There's a time when we'll be happy. There's a time when we'll be sad. And there's a time when you just might not feel like it and you're going to cry. And I just want to encourage people and let them know that all those times are okay, and that you'll get through it. And even now, I'm just grateful that I have the ability to regroup, and that I have learned that even in the hard times, even when it doesn't feel too good, that I know that I can regroup, and that I know that I can still count it all joy, even when it hurts, right? So I'm going to regroup. I'm going to keep pressing, and I'm going to be grateful for another day. And what I am grateful for is the memories and the times that I did have with Jason, as well as what was deposited into my life with my pastor. So let me sum this up, because we're getting on 8 minutes. I will continue to press forward, and I encourage each one of you to press forward, and I will count my blessings. And although I don't have the equipment that I thought I needed, I will use what I have. So regroup, use what you have, and I will get on here more often and do what I need to do. So this is Marche Denise Fulham, author of the Confessions of Church Girls, proud mother of Jada Louise and Anzel Marche. And what I know for sure is God has a plan, and he does not lie. Regroup. You'll get through this, and the best is still yet to come. I will talk to y'all soon. Have a good night or a good day, wherever you are. Bye.